Just like that, Serbia off to Qatar 2022 with a dramatic win over Portugal in Portugal. Absolutely outstanding. I have no words. Where to start? From the lineup, absolute shocker, Mitrovic not starting this match. I think most people would say that was... I mean, if there's two guys that you have in the starting lineup penciled in, it's probably Mitrovic and Tadic. There's other guys that you have as well. I think those are the two first names that you have on the game sheet. And Živković was less of a surprise for me personally. I did a podcast last night and I said Radonjić doesn't really have defensive characteristics to his game, but Živković has more than Radonjić, I would say. I haven't watched too much of Živković, so I'm not gonna spew something that I don't really know about. I thought he was excellent during the 63, 64 minutes that he played. Thought he whipped in a lot of balls. He got fouled a lot. That's exactly what you want from the position. And it's a position where we don't really have an answer. Like, we have Lazovic there, but, you know, is he the long-term solution there? Probably not. He's, I think, 31, 32 years of age. His time is going to come to an end. He's starting to pick up a lot of injuries as well, as I'm sweating over here. So there's an opening in that lineup. I also had, I think I said Ristic. I've gone completely blank. I wouldn't have mind seeing him on that side. Even though I think he's more of a left side player. But, you know, you get down 1-0 right away in the second minute. My stream actually went down right away, so I didn't even get to see the goal. I saw it at halftime. But again, there's a reason why I'm not a big fan of playing it out from behind, from the goalkeeper. I'll say one thing. I don't mind this because there's no one even close to Gudel. And then he just ended up getting stripped, and Portugal ends up scoring a very easy goal. One thing you don't want to do is concede early in the match and right before halftime or right after halftime. And we did exactly that. And I thought this is going to be a complete uphill climb because remember, Serbia had to win this match. A draw wasn't good enough. A loss obviously wasn't good enough. So we really had to win this match. I thought the first half was all Serbia. And then truthfully, even the second half. I'll say one thing. When Portugal did get anywhere near our 16-yard box, they created chances. And that's with the back line. It's very shaky. I'm not a big fan of the back line. Pavlovic is going to be a really good player in 3-4 years. He tries to deke way too many guys, and Renato Sanchez picked his pocket in the second half where Renato really should have scored. And we're very fortunate not to concede. And you could even say that the goal that Serbia scored, that Tadic scored, it was an ugly goal. Deflection off Rui Patricio's hands and into the back of the net. At this point, you're going to take him any way you can. I tweeted out that after the first half that I thought Živković was the best player on the pitch at that point. And I said I wouldn't make any substitutions at halftime because everything was kind of going smoothly. Obviously, Stojković didn't listen to me and he substituted Gudel for Mitrovic. And I think that was a good thing that he did as well because, again, you have to win this match. Gudel already had a yellow and... it was the right thing to do, and it just shows that, Stojković, I think he realizes that defensively this team is going to concede some really stupid goals, and like we did in Ireland, the own goal. So you might as well fight fire with fire. Look, if someone's going to score 4, we're going to try to score 5 because we have the firepower in this lineup. The second half, I honestly didn't even realize that Bruno Fernandes didn't even start this match, to tell you the truth. I just, not that the other guys were playing bad or anything, I just completely didn't realize. I just assumed he was in the starting lineup there. We completely neutralized Ronaldo the entire match. He was nowhere to be seen. One thing that you still have to do with this Portuguese team, I know he's up there 36, 37 years of age. It's one thing you have to do with Ronaldo. You have to neutralize him. You have to make someone else beat you. And that goes for every sport, basketball, whatever the case may be. You neutralize the best player and you make all the other guys try to beat you. And I think we did that exceptionally today. Sergej Milinković-Savić, I know Mitrovic is going to get full credit for the goal. Sergej Milinković-Savić was outstanding today, probably his best match for the national team. And there was someone else that I thought was really good. I thought Vlahovic was good. There's someone else that I'm missing. I think Živković, I was going to mention Živković, as I already said before. Absolutely outstanding. I think Sergej Milinković-Savić controlled the middle of the pitch perfectly against Portugal. Perfectly done. Like I said, I think this was his best match for the national team. Against Norway in the playoff last for the Euros, he played really well when he came on. But this I thought was masterclass. Like, this was Sergej at his best. Any ball that was up in the air, he had no troubles controlling, neutralized everything, very calm on the ball. Kostic did a good job of whipping balls in as well. Vlahovic he's such an interesting player because and I'm not saying he's Erling Haaland by any stretch of the imagination, but his ability to even make the pass and get by players, and he's tall, but he has some quickness to him. So it makes, defenders much harder to defend him, if I can say. And I think that Portuguese backline was shaky all night. I know Font was in there for Pepe. It's what I expected to see, and then Daniel Pereira was there as well. But I thought that they were very shaky. Nuno Mendes has been great. I thought he was shaky as well. Rui Patricio obviously conceding the goal, an awful goal to concede, really. But I thought that the unsung heroes today were Živković and Sergej Milinković-Savić, like I said. And it's absolutely amazing that we're going to the World Cup. That Mitrovic goal from the corner, absolutely outstanding. It's a typical Mitrovic goal. Headed just past Rui Patricio, and again, I think Font was the man who's man-marking Mitrovic very poorly, to say the least. And, Mitrovic doesn't need a lot of space. That's exactly, what he's there for. He's going to score those goals, and I'm happy that was him that put us through, because he has been the best player for Serbia in this qualifying phase. I said earlier it was a shocker that he didn't start, but the more I thought about it, it kind of made sense, because in the situation that Serbia was in, if they were tied or down at some point in the match in the second half, if both Mitrovic and Vlahovic had started the match, there's no real firepower they could bring off the bench that can kind of replace those two guys or help them in attack. Sure, Radonjic is there, but I'm talking more of like a center forward presence. So Luka Jovic hasn't played much, so you can't really depend on him. That's not really to any fault of his own. Benzema's just been absolutely outstanding for Real Madrid. But he's not someone I would, kind of want out there if I needed a goal badly. And Mitrovic was the perfect guy to get it. Outstanding job from everyone today. Like I said, total team effort. Stojkovic just fights fire with fire. Portugal's going to have a long, hard look with the head coach. I just don't think he's the right guy there. There's way too much firepower on this Portuguese team to be going through a playoff to get to the World Cup. That's just my personal opinion. And like Serbia, I think they had a lot of average games during this entire qualifying phase. Serbia was the same way, and I said that on my podcast as well. We haven't really had a really good game this entire qualifying phase, and I'm glad we saved the best for last, because I thought we were outstanding today all night. The back line is obviously still a little bit shaky until we figure something out, but you're going to take it at this point. We'll worry about that down the road. Time for these players to get some rest, and I'm like in shock, just because it's the perfect way to win a match in the last 5-6 minutes. You score a goal where the other team now has to score, kind of the same way that Portugal beat France in the Euros in 2016. They scored with like a minute or two left, and France didn't even have time to kind of come back and attempt to score, which is exactly where Portugal was, the situation that Portugal was put into as well. So outstanding, happy for the guys. I can't wait for the World Cup. Just an amazing feeling.